Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show this weekend. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Merry Christmas to you.
Well, Merry Christmas to you.
Can you believe Monday is Christmas already? How did that happen? I mean,
I know.
We got just this weekend left, and then, I've been thinking I'm going to start doing some Christmas shopping. Just kidding. I got your stuff. I've had your stuff for a long time, mainly because you told me what to get, and I picked it out.
I did?
And, yeah.
No, I didn't this year.
Yeah. A beautiful purse.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got other stuff, too, that's going to go in the purse or somewhere else.
and the shelf that you're making for next to the fridge.
Oh, you want me to do that?
We've got all the supplies. You need to do that, yes.
Supplies. All right. Hey, let's get to our special guest for today. Our special guest is, who do I have? Melanie Merriman. Holding the Net is the name of a book, I believe, that she's got. And we're going to be chatting with Melanie for this weekend program. Also, Saturday, December the 23rd, I've got a quote. And Sunday, December 24th, I've got a quote. Quote for Saturday is, "Talent is cheaper than table salt. What separates the talented individuals from the successful ones is a lot of hard work." Stephen King said that.
That is true.
And another writer that did okay, Charles Dickens, said, "For it is good to be children sometimes, and never better than at Christmas, when it is mighty founder was a child himself." There we go. Nice quote. Couple of good quotes there for this weekend. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
We're in that special time of year, one of my favorite times when we celebrate with family and friends. But often that celebration involves alcohol, so please have non-alcohol options available. Sadly, too many times that's not an option, and that can lead to drinking and driving, and much worse. If you're having a party, have a plan. And remember, if you or someone you know needs help kicking a drinking problem, there's a toll-free number you can call, 800-438-0380. That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline, 1-800-438-0380.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. Let's do the whole darn weekend here, because we've got Saturday the 23rd, happens to be Festivus. You know what Festivus is?
I do.
It's a holiday that was started by George Costanza's dad. What was his name? Frank Costanza?
Yeah.
In the TV show Seinfeld. We celebrated that one year. Are we going to celebrate that this year?
Yes, because we're going to be at Jason and Jen's house, my brother's
Well, we're
house,
gonna have to
for
celebrate Festivus.
Christmas,
Now-
and we will do the airing of grievances. I'll
I
get
got
it
a lot
started.
of problems with you people. The 23rd is also Roots Day. Then on the 24th, that is Sunday the 24th, National Chocolate Day, National Eggnog Day, and Christmas Eve. How did they not have Christmas Eve on this list? I need to find a better list. I mean, how do you forget that one? A lot of stuff going on this weekend. Thanks for joining us right here on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Are you paying a bundle to have the channels you want? And even more to have a DVR to watch the shows when you want to watch them? ChannelSurferTV.com wants to help. We have a few options that could save you 45% with Dish TV. Call 1-800-818-3967. See how much you can save by cutting the cable. Plus, we can help you watch on your mobile device. Call 1-800-818-3967. This is a limited time offer that can change fast. Call 1-800-818-3967 or learn more at ChannelSurferTV.com.
John and Heidi.
Coming up, we've got your brain on drugs, but first, take a listen to this. Marijuana aficionados rolled a 100-foot-long joint at an expo in Massachusetts last weekend.
Okay.
So a 100-foot-long joint that they rolled, and this is something where there's a lot of people who have been upset with a bunch of calls made in the NFL, and they're saying, what are they smoking? Maybe it was this 100-foot-long joint. There you go. Could be. I don't know. I doubt it, though. But that was in Massachusetts last Sunday. Coming up, we've got your brain on drugs. We'll get to that in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is your brain on drugs. An unidentified 54-year-old Washington State man told police the reason he was standing in the middle of an intersection waving an AK-47 is because he, quote, had been contacted by Donald Trump and he was told to go fight the lizard people.
What on earth is wrong with all of these people blaming their crazy crap on the president?
Like, I went nuts, and it's, Donald Trump told me to do it. Or the other one the other day was,
it was
Taylor Swift told
Taylor
me to do
Swift,
it.
yeah.
Police found a man standing in the middle of an intersection waving an AK-47. Police got him to lay his weapon down, and then they handcuffed him after he was tased a few times. He told police that he snorted some methamphetamines to lose weight. Is that how it works? I don't think that's... Later, he said, is that what you do with meth? You snort it? I don't know. I have no idea how that works. Later, he said that he'd been contacted by the president to go fight the lizard people, and he just stopped in the middle of the intersection to warn everybody. He added, the meth does not make me crazy. The lizard people are real. End quote.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nut job. Okay, I've got a link to the story on our Facebook page. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, A Christmas Story Live is being called the worst thing to ever air on live television. We didn't see it.
No, I wouldn't watch it.
We didn't miss much. I love A Christmas Story. You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
And even that, I can do it maybe once every 4 years.
Critics just excoriated the show, and it's got the lowest ratings in the history of any television show.
I don't know who thought that would be a good idea to begin with.
It was a good idea. Christmas Story is a great idea. And they said this was so bad that you're going to say, I wish I could shoot my eye out, kid.
No, I mean, I don't know who came up with the idea of the TV show, of doing a TV show of it. Yeah,
I don't know.
That's a bad idea.
Who knows? Speaking of bad ideas, Stephen Colbert is the executive producer of an animated series about President Trump for TV channel Showtime. Mm-hmm. It's about time he says something about Trump.
Yeah.
Hey, Heidi was telling me about this the other day. Star Wars actor Mark Hamill got into a Twitter war with Ted Cruz.
That was hilarious.
I don't know which one
Ted
of those
ruined him.
I think they both went a little bit nuts in the middle of that, though. You're just reading it going, oh, are you serious? Why are you doing this, people? And I guess that's going to do it for our big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
John and Heidi.
This is the time of year to wrap up one year and begin another. For many businesses, that means a new budget is coming soon. Now, if you have some funds left in your current year's budget, we can help you make that go far. When you put words to music, they're 9 times more memorable. So let us help create a jingle for your business that you can use for years to come. If you have some funds left in the budget this year, we can help you get it done now. If you want to wait until the new year and the new budget, we can lock in a special rate now and you pay later. Learn more at RadioReallyWorks.com. RadioReallyWorks.com. Now your scoop of the day. A study by the University of California at Berkeley found that getting deep sleep is a natural fountain of youth in old age. So they're saying getting deep sleep, not just like what I do. I fall asleep and then my dogs wake me up 3 seconds later. You notice how they do that?
Oh my gosh, they've been awful this week.
Oh, it was terrible last night. We've got 2 puppies. By the way, this lady.
You know
that's
what the
in here,
problem was? They
she's
were
married.
thirsty.
Is that what it was?
They had no water in their bowl.
Well, see.
Because I got up this morning, I looked, and they were out of water. So that's what their problem was.
Well, this young lady that's here with me, she's my wife. I just want to make sure people understand that. They're not going, ooh, he just let the cat out of the bag. Those guys are in bed together. Yeah, she's my wife. We're in bed together every day. But our dogs, for whatever reason, it's not just that. It's like we'll go to sleep, and they want to jump in bed with us, but they won't jump in bed with us until we're sleeping. And then they'll come and like whine next to the bed, and Miley goes to your side, and Maddie comes to my side. So they have to wake us both up. Just quit it. All right. Hey, we should move on. By the way, if we got more sleep, we would both look much younger, according to that story. So
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go sleep now. Can you finish the show on your own?
No, you got to stick around for a little bit longer. Hey, a survey by the Bureau of Labor Statistics found that black unemployment is at its lowest point in 17 years. That's
How
kinda cool.
fantastic is that?
That's very cool. Authorities now believe there may have been an object on the tracks that caused Amtrak's train to derail on the bridge in Tacoma, Washington. I was watching a program where they said that they were supposed to be going 30 miles an hour. You know how fast they were going? 81 miles an hour.
Oh.
That's a problem. So you don't want to do that. This is kind of interesting. A Fiat that was shuttling Pope Francis around Philadelphia during his 2015 visit was just recently put up for auction this week.
Fiat?
Yeah, a Fiat. It was like a little tiny car. And they were
You
using
didn't think his hat would fit in there.
Well, I don't know if it was a customized Fiat with like a sunroof. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. All I know is it just recently went up for auction. It recently went up for auction this week, and I don't know who bought it or how much it was. I'll have to see if I can find that. Jason Priestley, you know who that is, right? Mm-hmm. Beverly Hills 90210.
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
Has he been in anything recently?
Not that I know. I mean, I think he has, but like TV movies and stuff.
Do you want to know why?
Why?
In 1995, he punched Harvey Weinstein in the face during a party.
Oh, good for
Because of
him.
something that was going on that he didn't think was okay.
Good for him.
Clocked him in the old jaw, and that was in 1995, and that's about the last time I've seen him in anything. So this Weinstein guy apparently does have a little bit of power there in Hollywood. Hey, The Rock, speaking of people in Hollywood, he's got Jumanji in theaters. Is it in theaters or it's coming to
I don't
theaters?
know. I'm not going to see that.
I'm not going to rush right out. I remember the other one, and it wasn't terrible,
It
but it
was
wasn't
terrible.
great. I was like, that's kind of interesting.
It was terrible.
Anyway, he recently has made the announcement that he is 100% serious that he is considering running for president of the United States in 2020. So imagine President Rock. It's Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I wonder if he would be going. We've had 2 President Johnsons already, so I don't know. A third Johnson for president. I don't know. And our final story here. Kiss bassist Gene Simmons is being accused of making unwanted advances on an unnamed female radio personality. She filed a lawsuit against him last week. Here's the thing that I think is really sad. I read the story about this. Did I talk to you about this story?
Yeah,
No, I'm gonna
it's
tell you.
ridiculous.
I've met Gene Simmons numerous times, and I'm not going to say that I'm a big fan because he's kind of a pompous guy. And anybody that knows him, I'm not speaking out of school here. That's his persona.
Right.
That's who he is. That's how he is. And here's what the sexual advances were in this story. During the interview, he took her hand and put her hand on his knee, and he was being a wise guy, and then she pulled her hand away. Then he reached over and touched her hand and said, "Oh, wow, you must use lotion. Soft hands." And then touched her throat. And in the story, it said he couldn't explain why he had done that. Just said, I don't know. I was just messing around. I don't get it. Again, if there was something that happened that it was like, I cannot believe he just did that, that would be terrible. When you meet somebody on the street, a stranger, what do? You reach out and you touch their hand. You shake hands. You touch hands with complete strangers. This guy touched your hand, and you're saying, I'm going to file charges.
You can't do anything anymore.
I just don't get it.
Nothing
Again,
anymore.
Not that I'm trying to defend Gene, but, whatever. That's going to do it for your scoop of the day.
John and Heidi.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
No more singing, please.
I'm trying to get everyone's attention to let them know that we made a list and we checked it twice.
Who made the list?
Okay, Heidi made a list, but I put it online to make it easy to find some of our favorite ideas for fun gifts.
These are my personal favorites. I have several of these items myself.
These are a few of our favorite things.
Oh my gosh.
You can see the entire list at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We're sitting here at the holiday time, and we spend a lot of time with family and friends that maybe we don't see quite as often. And we've got a guest on the line right now. We have hospice expert and author Melanie Merriman. She's got a book called Holding the Net, Caring for My Mother on the Tightrope of Aging. And this is kind of a time of year where maybe we notice things, and it's not necessarily, Melanie, because it's happening this time of year, but because we're maybe around our family more often this time of year. Is that right?
Absolutely, yes.
And are there specific things that people should maybe be looking for when they're spending time with grandma or with mom or with grandpa or somebody that maybe is living on their own?
Some of the things that were clues for me, clues that I will admit I missed in many cases, were simple things like, what's in the refrigerator? My mother's refrigerator, when I was growing up, was always packed full of food. And even when she lived on her own, which she did for many years very well, I would see leftovers in there that showed me that she had been cooking, for example. I would see her favorite foods. And as she began to decline, her refrigerator got more and more empty. She wasn't cooking anymore. I saw more frozen foods in the freezer, things that she normally would never have had because she always cooked everything herself. So looking at what's in the refrigerator is a good idea. Look at the calendar or wherever your family members keep track of their activities. My mother's calendar used to be packed. She'd have a lunch with this person. She'd have bridge club twice a week. She belonged to 2 book clubs. And I started to notice after a while, again, once she started to decline, her calendar was a little more empty. than it had used to be. You know, she still went and got her hair done. She still had one bridge game, but she was really dialing back from some of her community activities. And one of the most important things is probably go out for a drive, and if you're worried about your aging parent or relative or friend, have them drive their car and just really pay attention to how their reflexes are working. Are they driving too fast? Are they driving too slow? It may be perfectly safe, or you may not really feel that you're unsafe, but if you notice a difference in their comfort level with driving, or maybe they'll say, you know what, why don't you drive? Because I haven't been to that restaurant before. That's a clue. They're no longer comfortable driving to places they haven't been. So it's little things like that you want to look for.
And again, I love the fact that your book even has the word tightrope right in the title, Holding the Net, Caring for My Mother on the Tightrope of Aging, because it's so much it's a balance, and it's a struggle, and it's this thing that if you've got 7 people in a family all trying to help make decisions, you're not going to have 7 people that agree. Usually you're going to have some people saying, well, Mom doesn't want to leave her house. There's no way we can have Mom out of this house. And there's other people saying, but we care about Mom and we want to make sure she's safe. So it is that tightrope. What kind of advice do you give to a family maybe that's discovering that Mom or Grandma or Dad or Grandpa or whoever that person might be, it could be an uncle or somebody, when they first discover that maybe they need a little more assistance? What would be the first thing they should be doing so they don't just tear each other apart?
Well, I actually think one of the best things you can do is let an expert, let a professional come in and help everybody to understand what's really going on. One of the options would be to contact what used to be called a geriatric care manager, and I always use the old name because I feel like it's very descriptive, a geriatric care manager. Now, these people currently are called aging life care experts, and you can just put that into Google, aging life care expert. Put that into Google, and you'll get directed to the National Association, and there's a really nice geographic search tool on their website, and you can find one of these professionals in your community, and many of them will do an initial consultation for free. Not all of them will. But this is a person who has training. They're usually a social worker or a nurse, but they all have the training to look at the situation of an older person who may be declining physically and mentally, or maybe not, and really assess the whole thing. Not just, is there a disease process going on, which is what a doctor would look at. Not just are they lacking social supports, which might be the only thing that a social worker would look at. These are people who are really trained to look at the whole person and the whole situation and really give everybody a good picture of what are the things this person can continue to do well on their own, what kind of help might be most useful, and also connect them with services in the community.
Very nice.
Another option, and this is really can be an even better first stop for families who may not have the financial ability to hire someone, is the local area agency on aging. And these agencies are affiliated with and in part funded by the federal government, but they are not governmental agencies. And they have different names. Different organizations will fulfill the role of the area agency on aging in different communities. But there is one available, even if it's only by telephone, in your area. And they, because they are partially funded by the government, will be able to offer advice at least and connection to resources. And they may even be able to give you some ideas other than the ones that I've given you about how do you assess whether it's time to step in and really get some help from mom or dad?
Again, our guest today is Melanie Merriman. She is the author of a really great book. It's called Holding the Net, Caring for My Mother on the Tightrope of Aging. It's available right now. Melanie, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
Thank you so much for having me, John. It's really a pleasure.
Absolutely. And
Happy
I know
holidays to you and all your listeners.
Absolutely. And I know this is a time of year when people are spending a little more time with relatives that maybe they don't see them, but maybe even just once a year, and it's usually around the holidays. So if you happen to, at that time, when you're with family, if you see some things that maybe have you concerned, this would be a really good time to address that. And if you need some help with that, again, in the book, Holding the Net, Caring for My Mother on the Tightrope of Aging, Melanie reflects on the trials that she went through. And again, the book is available right now, and I've got a link to it on our Facebook page to make it easy to find, and that's at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
We're in that special time of year, one of my favorite times when we celebrate with family and friends. But often that celebration involves alcohol, so please have non-alcohol options available. Sadly, too many times that's not an option, and that can lead to drinking and driving, and much worse. If you're having a party, have a plan. And remember, if you or someone you know needs help kicking a drinking problem, there's a toll-free number you can call, 800-438-0380. That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline, 1-800-438-0380.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
How many times can you fold a piece of paper? Do you think you know?
No.
7. The Mythbusters... Seriously. That's what they say. Take a piece of paper. If you can fold it in half, they say you can fold it in half no more than 7 times. The Mythbusters managed to reach 11 folds, but here's how they did it. They had a football field size piece of paper. So they had a sheet of paper as big as a football field, and they could only fold that in half 11 times.
Okay, so it has to be in half every time. Okay.
Yeah. What did you think I was talking about?
Well, I was going to say, there's no way you can fold a piece of paper way more than that.
No, you fold it in half, fold it in half.
Okay.
I tried this, and I could only get to like 5 or 6. So the most that they could do is 7. These guys cheated and used a football field size piece of paper, and they were able to do it 11 times.
Okay.
We spent our entire time talking about one fun fact.
That's
today.
ridiculous.
It was a good fun fact, though. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
No more singing, please.
I'm trying to get everyone's attention to let them know that we made a list and we checked it twice.
Who made the list?
Okay, Heidi made a list, but I put it online to make it easy to find some of our favorite ideas for fun gifts.
These are my personal favorites. I have several of these items myself.
These are a few of our favorite things.
Oh my gosh.
You can see the entire list at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
I'm so excited for my grandiloquent word of the day. You know what my grandiloquent...
What is the grandiloquent word of the day?
First of all, do you like this feature? Do you like the...
Oh, yes.
I think you're...
I look forward to it every single day.
You do, because you typically pick on me for like the next 20 minutes. Here's the grandiloquent word for today is gadzooks. That's a fun one. Have you heard that before?
I have heard that.
Now, what do you think gadzooks means?
Like, oh my gosh.
Gadzooks is an exclamation, and it is an exclamation used to express surprise, annoyance, fear, joy, and wonder. Now, here's the thing that's interesting. From the late 17th century, it's an alteration of God's hooks.
Oh.
So, by which Jesus was nailed to the cross. So, God's hooks. Gadzooks.
Why would you
I
yell
don't know,
that
but
when you were surprised?
I had no clue that there was even a connection to that, but that's God's hooks, not gadzooks.
Oh,
and then it turned into
what
gadzooks.
a morbid thing to yell if you're surprised.
Yeah. Apparently, that's what people used to yell. I don't know.
Okay.
Gadzooks, Heidi. Gadzooks. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Are you paying a bundle to have the channels you want, and even more to have a DVR to watch the shows when you want to watch them? ChannelSurferTV.com wants to help. We have a few options that could save you 45% with Dish TV. Call 1-800-818-3967. See how much you can save by cutting the cable. Plus, we can help you watch on your mobile device. Call 1-800-818-3967. This is a limited time offer that can change fast. Call 1-800-818-3967 or learn more at ChannelSurferTV.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for some weird news this weekend. Jesse Berubi, age 32, had a Santa-style entry that landed him in jail. Yeah, he ended up with emergency crews pulling him.
He went through the chimney.
He was trying to slide through the chimney of a Sacramento area business. They dubbed him Criminal Claus. Tried to sneak into a business by sliding down the chimney, but he got lodged in the chimney. Officers and firefighters worked together with special equipment to pull this knucklehead out of the chimney.
What an
he
idiot.
was arrested for burglary and even had to get a mugshot. And that he was all smushed up in ashes and soot in the mugshot. So I've got a link to that story at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. Edla Solis, age 47, was charged with neglect of a child for placing a 6-year-old child in a chair to hold her parking spot.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, she was running to the store and decided, "Hey, I got a good spot here.
Oh my gosh!
I don't want to lose my spot." Police received a number of calls from about a child seated in a chair in front of a housing complex in Florida. Well, after dark, she was heading out to do some shopping. Didn't want to lose this what am I trying to say? Premium parking space. That's tough to say, apparently, for me. Didn't want to lose the good spot. I'll just say that. Anyway, she took her child and a chair and went outside and said, "Okay, you sit here and hold my spot."
Wow.
Investigators interviewed the child. She said, "That's not the first time I've reserved a
Oh
parking space."
my gosh!
Her mama was arrested on child neglect. I've got a link to the story at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This is the time of year to wrap up one year and begin another. For many businesses, that means a new budget is coming soon. Now, if you have some funds left in your current year's budget, we can help you make that go far. When you put words to music, they're 9 times more memorable. So let us help create a jingle for your business that you can use for years to come. If you have some funds left in the budget this year, we can help you get it done now. If you want to wait until the new year and the new budget, we can lock in a special rate now and you pay later. Learn more at RadioReallyWorks.com. RadioReallyWorks.com. Coming up, we've got some good news to get to. But before we get to that good news, I just want to take a moment right now to say Merry Christmas to the people who listen to this program.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. I know that there are a lot of folks that listen that do celebrate Christmas, so Merry Christmas to you. For those of you who celebrate something else, we're not trying to be offensive to you, so whatever you celebrate, we wish you the very best. Happy holidays as well. Now, the reason I say Merry Christmas is because we celebrate that. Now, if you celebrate Hanukkah, you would probably say Happy Hanukkah. We don't celebrate that. I've got a friend that's Jewish. He wishes me a Merry Christmas. I wish him a Happy Hanukkah. We get along just fine. So again, whatever it is that you celebrate, whatever that happens to be, we hope that you have a good one. And in all sincerity, we're coming to the end of the year. It's been an interesting year for all of us. I think we need a little more love in this world, and we need to be a little more understanding of each other. And if there are people out there who could get beyond little titles and all the silly little things that we've made a really big deal lately, I think everybody would have a much better 2018.
Yeah, let's work on that in 2018.
Absolutely. We've got some great good news to get to. It's on the way. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of The John and Heidi Show is brought to you by The John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying The John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up with good news, and I think this is just a really cool story. It's about a young lady who was just not going to take no for an answer. She did not want to give up. A young lady by the name of Julia, and she was looking for a job. Are you the one that sent this to me?
Probably, yes, I think so. Yes,
it's
yes,
a
I
video.
did.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a video, and this young girl, I don't know how old she is. Maybe it'll say on here. But she finally got the call back for this job interview that she had been waiting on. Spent months looking for a job. Now, here's the thing. She's got a disability, but she doesn't care. She's like, you know what? I want to go out and do something. I want to be able to go out and earn a living. I want to be able to go out and do some things. Anyway, they called to let her know that we have an opportunity for you to come in. They're telling her, here's how much you're going to make. Are you interested in doing this? Would you like to accept the offer? And she said, yes, I would like to accept the offer.
It's a great video. I
It
love
is.
it. She's
And
so happy.
Here's the cool thing, to see all the people that love her, that are with her when she's getting this call and they're videotaping this.
Yeah.
You can tell that she's got a great network of supporting people in her family and in her life. That's really cool. And just to see how happy she is that she's getting this job. Now, think about how many people would complain if they had a job like that. They're like, oh, I got to go to work and I'm not going to make that much. She is ecstatic.
She is. It's so sweet. She's just adorable.
Yeah, and she's like breaking into tears that she's so happy she finally has this opportunity.
This is a video you should definitely go and watch, and it will just
really
make your
cool.
day.
So it's a neat video, and like I said, they're just kind of an impromptu video. They recorded it in the driveway when they found out that she was getting this phone call, and they're like, "Oh, hey, I think she's getting a job." So, and you can see everybody around her that, like I said, just loving on her and hugging her because she got the gig. If you'd like to see it, we've got a link to the story at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Also, I want to let you know, if you have good news, you can share that with us there as well, and then we'll do what we can to share that. Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening this weekend.